Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is George and I review watches. In this video we are reviewing a Royal Oak-inspired Homage by Specht Sohne. It's a sub $100 watch that ticks a lot of boxes and packs a lot of value in a neat little package. Equipped with a Miyota movement and good build quality, this watch from Specht Sohne is a great go anywhere do anything daily driver. Even though it's clearly inspired by the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, it's not a one-to-one copy, as is usually the case with Specht Sohne watches. Let's start with the unboxing. The watch arrives in a basic box that provides ample protection during shipping. Inside, you'll find a microfiber cloth, an unsigned warranty card, and a link removal tool. There's also a fake price tag with an RRP of $680. Yeah, right. First impressions upon holding it are positive. The watch feels heavier than expected, giving it a substantial presence. However, it's clear that some corners were cut in the finishing and bracelet quality. Let's dive deeper into the details. Currently, the Specht Sohne is priced at just under $90, and that's without any discounts or coupons you may have, which can bring the price closer to $85. In my opinion, this presents great value. Clearly, it's one of the more budget-friendly watches on AliExpress, but let's not forget that Specht Sohne in general is firmly positioned at the budget end of the AliExpress spectrum. Usually their models are either a hit or a complete miss. I think this one's a hit and let's see why. Okay, so first impressions. Obviously this is an homage, or rather inspired by the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. As you can see, it features a distinct octagonal bezel and a case and bracelets design reminiscent of the Royal Oak. However, it sets itself apart with unique dial details, hands and bezel engravings, which we will explore in more detail later. Regardless of your stance on Homage watches, it's clear this piece aims to capture the Royal Oak essence. Let's start with the dimensions. On the AliExpress product page, the watch is advertised as 40mm in diameter and 11mm in height. My calipers confirm these dimensions, so we have 40mm in diameter, excluding the crown, 11mm in height, including the flat sapphire crystal, and lug-to-lug measurement of 49.5mm. Since this features an integrated bracelet, we also need to measure from lug tip to lug tip, which comes in at 57.7mm. As with every integrated bracelet watch, it wears somewhere in between the 49.5 and 57.7mm length. It is still an integrated bracelet with stiff articulation, so anyone with small wrists may find it a bit challenging to conform to their wrist shape. Lug width measurement is a bit irrelevant, but the first link at its widest point is 26mm and it tapers all the way down to 17.7mm at the clasp. As with any watch that utilizes the Royal Oak case, it wears larger than the dimensions suggest, closer to a 42mm watch. The wide links also give it a bigger appearance and aesthetic. I have included some wrist shots later so you can see the watch on my 17cm or 6.75 inch wrist. It does look large but not out of place. Its redeeming feature, I would say, is the low height of 11mm, which makes it feel a bit more compact and not as bulky. Personally, for my wrist, I would have preferred a 37 or 38mm variant. Let's talk dial and design. The standout feature of this watch is undoubtedly its dial, which is unexpectedly detailed for a sub $100 watch. The dial has vertical stripes with every other stripe indented, adding depth and complexity. It reminds me a bit of the 41mm Aqua Terra, though that one has horizontal stripes. Applied indices sit on the edge of the inner blue dial, filled with Super-LumiNova and bordered by polished edges. The outer ring is white with blue printed minute markers, adding a nice contrast that breaks up the monotony of a single colored dial. The hour and seconds hand are similar to Royal Oak hands but taper towards the tip. The hour and minute hands are filled with Super-LumiNova, though the seconds hand is not. The date window at 3 o'clock has a metallic frame, integrating nicely with the hour marker. The logo is printed below the 12 o'clock marker with automatic printed at 6 o'clock. Overall, I have to say that I am blown away by the dial, the finishing quality and the attention to detail. I rather like that they included an outer ring in a different color, giving it an interesting tone, and the vertical stripes make it more contemporary and move away from the Royal Oak design. I have the blue dial model here, but Specht Sohne offers a few other options as well. There's a grey one with a white outer ring, there's a white silver one with a blue outer ring, a grey one with an orange outer ring and orange bezel engravings, and a white silver one with green outer ring and green bezel engravings. I have to say, I like all of them. I got the blue one because it was the only one in stock at the time of buying. Moving on to the case and finishing, I would say this is an area where Specht and Sohne had to make some compromises to keep the price under $100. The case mirrors the Royal Oak's octagonal bezel with 15-minute engravings. The case is brushed on the sides, top and back, with polished chamfers and bezel sides. At the top you can see the bezel, which is different from the Royal Oak thanks to the addition of the minute marker engravings, making it look like a dive watch. The engraving of the markers is executed rather well, indented in the bezel and in blue color for the extra contrast. I think it works quite well and I prefer it over the plain original bezel. The lugs angled downward with minimal play at the first link. There's an unsigned screw-down crown at 3 o'clock which functions well enough. The screw-down display caseback reveals the plain undecorated Miyota movement with engravings on the outer ring noting the brand name, water resistant and case material. Overall, the finishing is decent but not exceptional. Some areas, particularly where the end links angle down, are rough and could have used more polishing. The sharp edges on the back and top of the case are a notable downside as they are super sharp to the touch. At the heart of the Specht & Sohne is the Miyota 8215 automatic mechanical movement. It beats at 21,600 beats per hour or 3 Hz. It has a power reserve of around 42 hours, features 21 joules, and the claimed accuracy is minus 20 seconds to plus 40 seconds a day. It's not the most accurate movement, but it gets the job done. And if it ever fails, you can replace it rather cheaply or simply buy a brand new watch. Next up, we have the integrated bracelet. This is another area where this watch leaves something to be desired. The integrated bracelet features the famous Royal Oak design with 2 vertical links tying the bracelet together. The surfaces are brushed with the exception of the chamfers on the outer sides of the links that are polished. The butterfly clasp is signed with the logo and works fine, though there's no micro adjustment. Finding a good fit shouldn't be an issue as the links near the clasp are narrow enough for precise sizing. However, the hollow links make it feel cheaper and the overall finishing is lackluster. You can buy the watch on a rubber strap that matches the color of the dial, but unfortunately I don't have it here, so I can't say if it's any good or bad. Here are some wrist shots on my 6.75 inch or 17 cm wrist. Despite its larger size, the watch sits comfortably and doesn't feel too bulky. My wrist is very flat, but even so, the integrated bracelet conforms nicely to the wrist. However, as mentioned earlier, I think I would have preferred a 38mm version. An area where the Specht & Sohne delivers more than expected is the Lume. Both the hour indices and hands feature large Super-LumiNova surfaces which glow brightly and last quite a while. This is a pleasant surprise for a watch in this price range, making it functional in low light conditions. Right, final thoughts. The Specht & Sohne is a value-packed Royal Oak-inspired watch offering some original and very interesting design elements. While the quality and finishing aren't top-notch, they are acceptable for the price. I've seen similar quality in watches costing twice or 3 times as much. However, I would have liked to see better brushing on the case. The strongest selling point of the watch is without a doubt the dial and the different color combinations Specht & Sohne offers. You can go with something safer, like the grey dial that goes with every outfit, or you could opt for a more unique choice like the green or orange variants to add a touch of color. The rubber straps also look great and make for a nice summer color combo. If you can overlook the bracelet and case finishing, which are the only 2 areas that leave something to be desired, the value proposition is undoubtedly here, and for under $90 you can enjoy a really beautiful watch. Thanks for tuning in and watching my review. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more in-depth watch reviews. Drop your thoughts and questions in the comments. I love hearing from you. Until the next time.